Katsina State is one of the states in the northwestern region that is bedeviled with the crisis of farmers' headers, which later culminated into what is known today as banditry, or even declared by the federal government to be terrorism. And let's look at the history. What are the causes of these problems, of this crime in the state? Not only in the state, in the northwestern region, because the crisis of these farmers' headers, this banditry started from Zamfara state, and how it started, spreading like a bushfire to other states in the sub-region. It started with the injustices meted against the headers and farmers. Many of us are guilty of these injustices. Farmers, their farmlands being encroached by headers. What happened? When a report is made at the police station, at the office of the chief judge, of the magistrate, Alkali, at the office of the district head, the ward head, what action have we taken to mitigate, to solve all those lingering crises that were happening at that particular time? A header will encroach into a farmland and commit a mischief of, let's say, 1,000 naira. But if a case is reported to the leaders, it is just business as usual. Money has come. And these people, they will be made to sell their farm products, to sell their animals, and money being extorted from them. As time goes on, these people are aggrieved. They have nowhere to run away. They have not received the right protections to be given to them by all of us. We have not given them that protection. I can remember, we used to have what is called movement of the Fulani headers. All of us here, we know there are cattle routes where these headers are coming all the way from Mali. They will enter into this country, some of them with sophisticated arms like AK-47, and they will commit armed robbery, they will commit cattle rustling against our own headers here. We've not protected them. They robbed them of their animals. And what happened? The resultant effect. Some of the bourgeoisies among us that are having money, they are having these cattle, they decided to procure arms for these headers so that they can protect their cattle. And what happened? The resultant effect, these people were roaming into the forest with AK-47. And at the end of the day, they are not adequately taken care of. These arms that are in their hands are not registered with the security agencies. So they started with highway robberies. If you remember, robberies around the highways, and it is mostly the headers that are committing those robberies. From robberies, when people understand that it is no longer easy for you to move with cash to the market, you go with ATM, you go and transfer, so the money drop is no longer there. Then they opted for kidnapping. Kidnapping started where they take people and later decided to demand for ransom. And this thing keep on going and going on check. I'm talking about some 20 years ago, this is what has been happening. Then suddenly these people started committing crime against themselves, the headers. One header, because he has arms and ammunition at his disposal, he will rob another Fulani man who doesn't have and cut away his cattle. And that was how it began, the banditry. Then they started attacking communities also. Then I'm giving you a summary so that everybody here, majority of us are aware of this, but I'm just reminding us. Then later what happened? Then the communities decided to bring the Ensaka in Zamfara state. We've seen what Ensake costs, and the resultant effect is still what we are still battling with. The Ensake, they went after these headers, not only the criminal elements among them, they attack anybody that they see that to be a Fulani man, raise their houses, kill them, and many of them decided to run back and stay in the forest. And also, what they do also, any person that is Hausa by tribe, also he has become a victim. They will attack your family, your house, they kidnap, they rape your wife, your children, they take them into the forest. A Fulani man that has not in his life seen 1 million naira, he will demand for 100 million. Say, you have to give me 100 million before I release your wife. So that was a crisis that was faced, and I can still say to some extent we are not far away from the crisis, but it has been subdued. Banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, in fact, a massive attack on communities. We have been having a situation where at a time they will come in hundreds of motorcycles, attack communities, raise that community, kill almost everybody in that community, and at times they don't even take anything. That is to show you that these people, they are really aggrieved. They will not take anything, but they will kill everybody, including animals, including children and women. That is to show you that this is not an ordinary fight. These people are aggrieved. But what happened? Subsequent administration, when this administration come into power, Governor Aminu Bello Masari, a real peace ambassador. Please, a round of applause for him. He started with the peace talks, because it's not everything that you will use the stick. You have to approach the carrot approach. The peace initiative started where we've seen the likes of so many of these renowned bandits coming out to surrender their arms. We've recovered more than 150 AK-47 with the peace accord. And during his first tenure in Katsina, we achieved almost 98% peace. At that time, people go out to their farms. Nobody is being attacked, would not have been cases of kidnapping before it later resurfaced. Then the second amnesty, where he went around even into the forest, taking risks. We all went around with him. The Kamwan Katsina is here, and some of us that went around with His Excellency to go for the peace accord. After a series of talks, there were a lot of issues concerning the peace talk with the bandits, because in peace process there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of factors that has to be considered. So many people betrayed the state government, the federal government, and that is why still we are having some pocket of incidents in the northwestern region. But we can say to a greater extent that the banditry, the terrorism that we know of 5-6 years ago is not the one that we are witnessing today. To some extent, these terrorists have been decimated, and there is an ongoing fight against terrorism in the whole country. Since the federal government declared this bandit as terrorists, we've seen a lot of dimensions in this fight, and presently it is ongoing. And what I would like to add here, peace that we are talking about, the international organizations that are for this peace, right from the United Nations to other NGOs, to security agencies, traditional rulers, religious leaders, members of the communities, even families. We are all stakeholders in peace process. Security should not be left in the hand of security agencies. We cannot do it alone, because the use of the stick alone cannot solve this problem. There are other dimensions to the problem. There are economic, there are social, there are psychological. There are a lot of issues to the peace process where everybody has to, all hands must be on deck to see that peace is being achieved. It's not only for the police or the military to come and enter into the forest and start fighting with these terrorists. Some of us, we can talk to them. These people, they are not from any other world. They are human beings. So many of them are our children. We were staying together with them in the same communities, and they decided to run away and take arms against us. So it's good we sit down at a drawing board and see what are the causes. How do we call these people to a round table? Let's agree, let's talk peace. Let them see the meaning of peace. Some of them, some of them are even tired of staying in the forest. They've been calling us, please, we need a second chance, or a third chance, I can say, or a fifth chance, because we've been giving them chances. But the issue is this: we need something like this. A peace process where people of eminent caliber, like you people, can talk to these people that have taken arms against the government, that have taken arms against communities, the traditional rulers, the religious leaders. All of you, you are stakeholders in this peace process, which, by the special grace of God, if we extend a helping hand to this criminal element, I believe so many of them are going to repent and come down and talk about peace, promoting peace in our communities. And Katsina, not only Katsina, the region, the northwest region, will have peace by the special grace of God. I have been opportune to serve in the United Nations mission in Liberia. I spent 3 years there. We went around, we were the people that brought peace in Liberia, and I know what it takes to talk about peace, because without peace, there will not be development, there will not be education, there will not be this kind of gathering, like what he said. The unfortunate incident of 2 days ago, where an attack was committed against the US personnel in Anambra State. This is one of the things that we talk about. Without peace, we cannot achieve anything. We have a secessionist element in this country that are agitating for the separation of this country. We have bandits, we have terrorists, even though to a greater extent they too have been decimated in the northeastern region. So you can see the dimension of the crisis in this country. And without collaboration, without us coming together to work cooperatively in partnership with the security agencies, we cannot achieve a sustainable peace. All of us, we are peacemakers, because like I said, tracing back to the history of this banditry, terrorism in the North region, you can see where at every one point or the other, some of us committed an offense which culminated into the present crisis that we are in. So I would not like to take much of our time with this. I know for now the Kanwa is here. Kara is one of the local government areas that is bedevilled with this crisis. He can bear me witness that the problem has gone down drastically, and the federal government is doing all that it could to see that banditry is nipped in the bud. It has come to an end in Katsina State, not only in Katsina State, in the whole country in general. With this, I said, I'm very grateful. I want to thank the organizers of this program. You've really done a very big job by inviting eminent personalities to attend this program. May Allah reward you abundantly. Amen. For those of us that come from far and near, I pray to Almighty Allah to take you back to your respective home in peace, peacefully. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.